All right, welcome back live. We continue right here. Ireland Contracting, Nightly Sports Call. We're on the air 7 nights a week.
7.
At 10:35. Taking your calls on the Bordas and Bordas hotline, which you see is 412-575-2600. Pete in Waynesburg, you're up. Go ahead, Pete.
Yeah. Hey, I was just saying
what's
that
up?
I think good show, guys. Hey, Antonio, I would just I'd keep him and bench him. I'd just leave him.
Well,
on
what
the
does
bench.
that? What does that do?
Anything for him anyway.
What does that do? That hurts you, and you get nothing
Well,
for him.
it puts a precedence for the NFL that.
No, it doesn't.
It's
not changing anyone in the
can't let
NFL.
these guys show everybody what they're going to do.
All right. They could have done that this year while he was here. They chose not to do any of that. So, no, they're not going to do that, and I wouldn't encourage them to do that anyway. Line 3 we go. John and Pitcairn. Hey, John.
Yes.
Go ahead, John.
Sorry for bothering you. Question. I got a 2-point question to ask you. Why didn't the Pirates sign Brian Dozier, number 1?
Who?
And then Brian Dozier.
The second baseman.
I mean, why didn't they?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Why didn't they sign Brian Dozier? That's number 1.
Okay.
And number 2. And number 2 is why is it these players, and why ain't Art Rooney Jr. being as strict as Art Rooney Sr.
Well,
with
first
all
of all, you're talking about
going
2, not Junior. Junior, that's the wrong Art Rooney.
Go ahead. What's the question?
Is there a question?
But why? Yeah. Why is there so much drama in the NFL?
Gene? Because Gene does a comedy routine, and he needs these sorts of things to support his playlist of things, right?
If by drama you mean, erratic behavior by the players, I mean, that's been in the NFL forever. I mean, I don't know the answer to that question. Why there is, I don't know. I'm not afraid to say on television, I don't know.
It's just, again, you're dealing with guys who have big egos, and when those big egos go amok, it can destroy locker rooms. And here's my thing, though, Gene. I don't know about you. You tell me what you think. I believe if you have a lot of talent, this whole thing about having chemistry. Yeah, it's important, but I'd rather have talent when it comes right down to it, because I don't see many teams without talent winning with just chemistry. Do you?
No, that's why this is an issue.
Exactly.
If this was Eli Rogers, he would be gone, and we wouldn't be talking about it. This is Antonio Brown, the best receiver in Steelers history. In the entire history of the league, you can make the case that only Jerry Rice was a better receiver than Antonio Brown. That's why the Steelers are a little hesitant just to say, okay, go away. That's not the way professional football works. But
at the same time, they have enabled this behavior by not disciplining it enough.
I'm not saying it's not their fault.
No, I understand. I think it's a two-way street, but you're right. The talent, because there's talent, and it's irreplaceable talent. Make no mistake about that. If they lose Antonio Bryant, they're not Antonio Brown, they're not going to be able to replace him, right? I would never think you could replace 15 touchdowns and 100-plus catches every year.
No, 28% of your touchdowns go away. Juju is not Juju, and Ben is not Ben.
Right.
The window is closing.
Wow, that's a quick summation. Rich in the Meadowlands. What's up, Rich? How you doing? Hey, Rich. Rich, last call.
Last call. Get out of here.
All right, Rich is not paying attention there. Let's go to Ken in Clearfield. What's up, Ken?
Hey, Bob, Gene. Happy New Year, guys.
You too.
Great show as always.
Thank you.
Hey, that Metropolitan Division in hockey, what a division, huh? There's 4 or 5 great teams there. There are probably 5 or 4 for sure. 5 is going to make the playoffs.
I wouldn't go that way. I think the Atlantic Division has better teams in it top to bottom.
I agree with that also. But only 8 teams can make it out of Eastern Conference.
Right, 3-3.
And I think no matter who gets in, it's going to be a dogfight no matter what. The only question I have is with Hornquist, with his concussions, it's scary because he's a great player. And do you think Jim Rutherford might open up the bank a little bit and try to get a couple more defensemen in here, offensive defensemen?
I mean, he's done everything. All right, I don't think he has to open up any banks. He's spent to the limit all the time, to the max. I think they're pretty good with this team as it is, as long as they're healthy. Gene, I don't think they have. The only thing would ask, you got to keep watching Broussard and how he is on a third-line center. Typically, that's what you wanted when you acquired him. He was going to be your third-line center and give you something in the playoffs, which he always performs well in the playoffs. But if that doesn't happen, as this goes on before the trade deadline, you might see him move him and see what else.
Yeah, you might. I mean, yeah, I think Rutherford has really stabilized the defense with Pedersen back there now with Jack Johnson. They look a lot better, you know, 1 through 6, if you will. I don't see the Penguins with a glaring need right now. Of course, it's not. We're still 6 weeks from the trade deadline or whatever it is, but right now they look fine to me.
Frank Kingerski on Twitter has a tweet for us. He says, guys, this all makes the Pirates look even more unbelievably bad. You have a model organization in your own division that is low market, doing it, but the Pirates won't spend. Plus, after making the fan base mad, you still don't sign anyone. It's a huge slap in the face. Do you think so?
Yeah, it's the 3rd consecutive huge slap in the face. I mean, it started with the Neil Walker trade, and it's gone downhill from then.
I expected more activity than what we've seen so far, given their needs and given the rest of the division, too.
Yeah, now, again, I give them credit for the Archer trade. It didn't work out. It might work out. It didn't work out, but at least there was an effort there. But, yeah, I don't see any effort in this offseason so far.
We'll take a break, come back with more right here live on Pittsburgh CW.